embodiments of love. Everyone inquires, Swami, where is Atma? They do not understand what Atma is. The Upanishads have dealt at length with the principle of Atma. Unfortunately, today people have not been able to interpret the teachings of the Upanishads properly. The teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, Ramayana, and the Bhagavata have their origin in the Upanishads. Our sages in the ancient times did intense tapas penance, to understand the nature of Atma, and finally declared that Atma was the fundamental basis of everything in the universe. When it assumes a physical body, even while the body undergoes constant change from birth to death, Atma remains as the eternal and changeless principle. The Atma is the source and sustenance for everything. It has no birth and death. People celebrate different festivals with great enthusiasm. For example, they celebrate the festival of Mahashivaratri. Does it mean Lord Shiva was born on that day? No, the name Shiva signifies auspiciousness. The Shiva principle is omnipresent. It is Sarvata Panipadam Tat Sarvathokshi Siramukham. Sarvata Srathim Alok Sarvamavruthaya Tishtati. Sanskrit verse. With hands, feet, eyes, head, mouth and ears pervading everything, he permeates the entire universe. Whatever is seen by the eyes, heard by the ears, even the words that are spoken, everything is Brahmin. There is nothing in the universe that is not Brahmin. That is why it is described as Sabda Brahmamayi, Karacharamai, Jayaturmayi, Vangmayi, Nityanandamayi, Piratparamayi, Mayamayi and Srimayi. Sanskrit verse embodiment of sound, mobility and immobility, light, speech, eternal bliss, perfection, delusion and wealth. No one can say this is Brahmin and this is not. For example, this handkerchief is also Brahmin. From where did this handkerchief originate? It is made out of threads. The threads in turn originated from cotton. Since the threads are woven together, it has assumed the form of a cloth. The cloth thus woven out of cotton threads can be made into a dhoti or a sari or a shirt. Some people say that the mind is the origin for the entire universe. This is not true. Even the mind has a source on which it depends. No doubt the mind is very strong and powerful, but even such a mind has originated from Atma only. The mind directs all activities in the physical world. It is very unsteady and is changing continuously. That is why it is called monkey mind. Atma is the source and sustenance for the body, mind, intellect, chitta consciousness, viveka discrimination, vijnana, higher wisdom, and sujnana, the science of consciousness. All have originated from Atma only. All these assume a particular form at a particular time, like an infant, a child, a boy, a young man and an old person in the life of a human being. These different forms at different stages have no independent existence. It is a transition from one stage to the other. However, the Atma is the source and sustenance for all these entities. It is the fundamental principle. In order to understand this fundamental principle, people ascribed different names to it. Some called it Om, the primordial sound. Others called it That Twamasi, that thou art. Yet others called it Brahmin. Some others gave it some names like Rama, Krishna, Allah, Iswara, and Jesus. These different names and forms are given for the purpose of identification only. Divinity, however, has no name and form. The names and forms ascribed to God are based upon one's liking for a particular name or form. Some people desire to worship God as Venkateswara and realize Him in that form. Who created that form? It is the human mind that picturized God in that form. For example, painters like the famous Ravi Varma. He painted God in different forms, Rama, Krishna, etc. These are all man-made, but not original. You may worship God as Rama, Krishna, or Shiva and realize Him in that form. But, fundamentally, God is one and only one. He is formless, nameless, and attributeless Brahmin. This fundamental truth has been explained in the aphorism, Ekamiva Advitiyam Brahma, God is one without a second. Yet, different people at different times are deluded by names and forms. One can say it is all their imagination. In fact, that imagination itself is the root cause for all the troubles in the world. Though names and forms are different, God is only one. You think so and so is bad and he looks bad. On the other hand, if you think that he is a good person, he will really appear good. It is your feeling toward him that makes all the difference between good and bad. These are all born out of your thoughts, for which the mind is the source. Hence, you have to take things as they are. You think you are meditating on a particular form or object. Really speaking, it is not meditation. The form or object on which you are supposed to be meditating may change after some time. Hence, it is not meditation in the real sense. It is not concentration either. It is just contemplation, for a particular time frame. When the object stabilizes after regular practice, you can meditate. It is not possible for anyone to meditate the moment one sits for meditation. No one ever succeeded in such an attempt. People say they are meditating, but it is artificial. Artificial meditation is really bad. There are 3 steps in the process: concentration, contemplation, and meditation. It is a gradual process achieved by systematic and regular abhyasa practice. This abhyasa yoga and the consequent peace attained by a person has been beautifully explained in the Bhagavad Gita thus: Sriyohi jnanamadhyasat, jnanadhyanam vishishayate, dhyanat karmaphala thayaga, thayagat santhiranantaram. Sanskrit verse. Better indeed is knowledge than practice. Better than knowledge is meditation on God. But better than meditation is renunciation of the desire for the fruits of actions. For peace follows peace immediately. A newborn child does not become an adult immediately but gradually grows into an adult. It is a mistake to think that whatever you wish becomes fruitful. If that is so, there would be no human effort at all. There would be no meaning for human existence. Hence, first and foremost, concentrate upon the I principle. Constantly contemplate on the aphorism, I am Atma. You and Atma are one only, not 2 different entities. Today, every action of a human being is leading to confusion, which in turn leads to depression. What is the reason for this sequence of events? Your own unsteady nature. In fact, the entire environment in the world is undergoing change. There is change in water, air, clouds, and even food. When everything around you is changing, naturally it will have its effect on you. Your mind is also undergoing change in tune with the changes around. There is only one changeless principle, constant integrated awareness prajnanam. The Upanishads declare prajnanam Brahma. Brahman is supreme consciousness. If you wish to attain that state, you must develop ekatmadhava, feeling of oneness. Though the bodies are different, only one Atma dwells in all living beings. The human bodies are like the pots and the mind therein is water. The one moon is reflected in all the pots. It is only reaction, reflection, and resound, everywhere. Dear children, you will not be able to understand the Atma Tattva, Atma principle. Atma is not merely a word comprising 2 letters. It connotes developing ekatmadhava. All are one, be alike to everyone. How can you develop faith in this maxim? A small example. You are doing a particular work. Your neighbor has undertaken a different job. Though you both undertook different jobs, the environment in which you are performing the jobs is the same. Atma is the consciousness that pervades everywhere. That all-pervading principle is truth. The creation emerges from truth and merges into truth. Is there a place in the cosmos where truth does not exist? Visualize this pure and unsullied truth. Telugu poem. The entire universe is permeated by truth. It is above, below, and on all sides. That sathya, truth, is Atma. It is eternal and changeless.